Are you at this spot in your trading, investing journey? You're just looking at the stop sign. I know, not a very good stop sign, but should I just stop trading? Ready to give up. Ready to just wave the white flag. You know what? Trading is not for me. I'm not cut out to be a trader. I'm not smart enough. Or there's just something. And in many situations, there's several things that contribute to you reaching this point where, you know what? Should I just give up? And you're not alone. We've all been there before. Anybody that's been in the market for an extended period of time has reached this area, including Joey and Evan, who I'm going to talk about here in just a second. And my goal with this video is just to give you something to consider before you just stop. Because a lot of people, like I said, we all get there, but we've pushed beyond it. We've gotten beyond it, and many people are very glad that they have. And I understand how hopeless, I understand how almost meaningless it can seem like, but there's no meaning. Like what? Why keep going on? Because this, that, and the other have all happened. So what's the point? It's totally meaningless to keep on going. And I understand the deep down valleys of the human mind that you can go through on, the journey of a trader and investor. But like I said, before you just officially stamp, nope, I'm done, a couple things to consider. So first thing I want you to do is just listen to Joey. Joey's story, he was a member of, he's a member of my community, but I interviewed him on my podcast, which is totally free. So you can see the image up right now of Joey and his journey. And as you see on the title there, the day of reckoning, meaning Joey had reached this point. Do I stop trading? Should I just give up? And he gives an excellent account of not giving up, why he didn't give up, the sort of decisions he made, the sort of things that he did to help him overcome this hurdle right here, and then get over here to, quite frankly, Joey's now doing a very good job. So that's really the question is, what happened? What did Joey do to get over here? You're going to have, like I said, a real life, not theory-based, you're going to have a raw nitty-gritty look into what can be done to help you get over that hurdle of should I give up, should I stop trading? So definitely listen to that podcast. I'll put a link if you're watching this on YouTube in the description box, or if you're watching it at claytrader.com, I'll just put a link to that podcast down below the video, and you can hear about Joey and his story. Or Evan. Evan was somebody else. And this is where it's going to come across like a sales pitch, and I really don't want it to. So I'm just going to throw it out there as a consideration, and not even necessarily for what I have to offer, but if you feel more comfortable with somebody else, if you've been eyeing somebody else's products and services, then I want to encourage you, please go with them. Like if that's what you feel more comfortable with, then fantastic, go with them. Now, of course, full disclosure, I would love for you to use, come along with me, use my services and what I offer. But if you feel more comfortable with somebody else, then I want you to do that. But what did Evan do? What was Evan's trick? So we have Joey. He went above there. How did he get across it? Listen to the podcast. And then we had Evan right here. So what did Evan do to get over here? Well, he dropped me an email, and I want you to just, keep in mind the one thing that he said, and it really stands out, and we'll put it up on the screen here too, but hey, Clay, I made the final payment for the TFP badge. On a side note, thank you so much for the courses and community. I was in a hole and about to give up before I made the investment, and now I have made a big dent and close to overall profitability. So he made an investment, right? He made an investment into what? Well, he made an investment in my training, which, okay, but what does that actually mean? What was his difference? Because I'm pretty confident, I'm pretty sure that you have already been studying. You've already been learning. You've been watching YouTube videos. You've been watching social media. You've been all over the place. You have been studying. You have been using, maybe reading books. You have been doing a bunch of stuff. But that's the problem is you're doing a bunch of stuff. But what Evan did was Evan came down here, and the investment he made was structure. Have you ever thought about that? Yeah, there's all sorts of free stuff on the internet. But wow, it sure does get overwhelming, doesn't it? And when you're new and you don't know what you don't know, even if you can somehow pluck out all the good bits of information, you still actually have to learn those information in the right order, or else you're just going to confuse yourself, even if it is good information. Now, it's probably not going to be, because when you're new and you don't know what you don't know if you're plucking out bad bits of information too. But again, even assuming you somehow luck out and get all the good bits of information, if you learn about it in the wrong order, again, without structure, That's going to create the feeling of overwhelmingness, and that's going to create frustration, lost money, and very well is probably going to lead you, should I just give up? But what Evan did was he invested into structure, a step-by-step process. First, learn about this, and then you got to learn about this. But no, don't learn about that yet, because first we got to figure out this, that, and the other thing, and then we'll move on to that. And those little things, such as structure, is what, as you saw there, it's put a big dent into all those losses. So think about it. He was thinking about giving up. He was losing money. He invested in the structure. And now all of a sudden he stopped losing money. Now, of course, he still loses money along the way, but in a controlled fashion. But from a trend perspective, now he's actually making back all those losses and almost getting back to total profitability. Maybe it was just a coincidence that all that started to happen as soon as he made that investment into structure. But, I don't know. So my point here is this: before you give up, what has been your method? What has been your approach to the market? A bunch of random YouTube videos, a bunch of random books, a bunch of random things on social media? No, maybe. I'm not saying that's for sure, but is it at least logical that maybe you've just overwhelmed yourself by so much random stuff, and some of that stuff probably being bad, but if you learn about it in the wrong order, that's a very real possibility. So consider it, and consider looking for some sort of structured program. Whether that's mine or somebody else's, like I already mentioned, I want you to do what you feel most comfortable with. But just consider that before you go and throw in the towel, because maybe that's all you're missing. Maybe you just need a little bit of clarification, a little bit of structure in your understanding, in your approach to the market. And maybe, just maybe, that's just what you need. And that's what pushes you over the hump. And that's what gets you past the big old stop sign right there. So if you are ready to give up, like I said, I would highly encourage you, listen to Joey's podcast. And then also just consider adding in some structure into your journey and seeing if that's at least worth it. And I mean, maybe it's not, but maybe, and I have a sneaky suspicion, of course, assuming that it's a good program, I have a sneaky suspicion it'll make a very big difference. So if you are somebody that's out there that's sitting on the edge, I don't know, I'm ready to give up, I'm ready to quit, I'm ready to stop, like I said, just consider these couple things and I think they'll make a big difference for you. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.